What is happening, every people? Welcome to one, welcome to all. Just trying to make a little adjustment here to my volume. It's a little quiet on my side, but it looks like we got a lot of people coming in. We got our normal 40, 50 people tuning in from Nemo. We got Paul coming in from Facebook. We got Obscure Mysticism Cults coming in from YouTube. Looks like we got Virgil and Gak coming in on Twitch. Who knows who else might be watching from all of the crazy places we're going. We're still doing our test of, Live Space, which is in a beta. I'm not sure. It looks like we might have one or two people watching on there as well. So awesome. Thanks for coming in, everybody. You know what's coming next. I'm going to introduce myself. I'm the Mad Poet. You're an audience. We are the Mad Poet Society. Glad to have you here. Looks like Paul's watching from Murrieta, California. Welcome, California. And Cycling Virgil says, hey, missed a few Fridays. Sounded good. Thanks for the compliment and welcome back. Haven't seen you or Dr. Gak for a while, so great to have you here. Do appreciate it. Tonight we're playing my 60th album, Finite Reality. I haven't played this one for a while. Really enjoyed playing this one. It's got a lot of fun guitar stuff in it, fun riffs. I'm glad Dr. Gak is in because Glenn has been asking me for a year and a half when we're going to hear some saxophone. And I have talked in my last few shows about some of the finalizing that I'm doing on the new album. And we also got Susan coming in from YouTube. Welcome, Susan. We're going to be talking about Susan in a few more songs because she is awesome, is what she is. But there is going to be no saxophone on the next album. We've been talking about this. I've been saying it. I wrote a song specifically for it. And that song is called Unknown Acquaintances and Lonely Strangers. The song is going to be on my next album, but there's not going to be any saxophone in it. I had recorded it with saxophone, and as I've kind of described it, it felt like going from Metallica to Kenny G in the same album. It just didn't work. So I was like, let me just record a guitar on this, and as soon as I recorded the guitar, I'm like, that's the Mad Poet. That fits now. I liked it with saxophone on its own, just not as part of the album. And I really liked the song as part of the album, so I didn't want to like tear it out. Just try a kazoo. That's exactly what I should have done. So I'm not going to say there's never going to be saxophone on a Mad Poet album, but it's not going to come up on this particular album. And I got to say, as you know, one of my big tests for just, do I like the music is I exercise to it. And I have heard this new album so many times now. I'm getting really pleased with the production work on it. I think it definitely sounds the best that any of my work ever has. I believe that I have reached a new level with my production on this album. And when the last 3 or 4 times I listened to it with the guitar on there instead of the saxophone, I was just like, this is freaking awesome. Felt really good. So apologies for those who were waiting for saxophone. You're not going to get it. So one of these days I might have to just rip the sax out and just kind of rip it up on here on the just solo sax for a while. I even thought about doing like a short stream where I just take the sax out to the middle of the desert and just play out there just for kicks for like 10 minutes. That'd be a fun little stream to do. Anyway, that's what's going on. Apologies for broken promises, but hopefully you will like the end result nonetheless. Still haven't decided when the album's coming out. I have not convinced myself that it's done, but what happened was in the early stages of that, I was not getting the sound that I wanted on that album. It wasn't working, and the clarity now is there. You can hear all the instruments, particularly on some of the more complex songs like Something in My Eye, Fistful of Light. It's like, hearing all these instruments, the organs and the string sections and the clarity, that feels so good. So We're going to have none of those things on this next song. This is just straight ahead rock ensemble. That's what most of this album is. This piece is called The Ghost of Temptation. Oh, water. Love me some water. All right. I was going to say something. I was thinking of something I wanted to say, and now I don't remember what it was. Oh, you know what? Yeah, actually, if anyone is willing to pay attention and let me know what you think, I have been noticing in my video playbacks that there were some issues with being slightly off from the audio and video, and I believe I've corrected that. So if anyone can just kind of watch for alignment on the various platforms, let me know if it appears to be out of sync at all for you, because I think that it should be better, but I'm not positive. So yeah, good old H2O, it's the best thing going. I love water. This next song is in C Phrygian. It's heavily inspired by an old band called Metal Church, who had an album called Metal Church, and on that album there was a song called Metal Church because they were just crazy with their titles like that. Metal Church from Metal Church by Metal Church. Metal Church was an awesome band. This is the intro to this song is just inspired by that title song of theirs. So this is called 6 Hours Ago, which would have been, about 2:18 or so. Tom, my friend, thank you very much for the awesome tip. Greatly appreciated. And thank you very much to everyone for being here. Chatters, watchers, listeners, smellers, whatever it is you're doing out there. Hope you do it well. Thank you for being part of the Mad Poet Show. I am the Mad Poet. You are an audience. We are the Mad Poet Society. If anyone's come a little late tonight, we're playing my 60th album. It is called Finite Reality. Doing some kind of upbeat stuff here. Kind of cranking on along. Moving into some C sharp minor, which is only mostly exciting, as we all know. But, you know, things are coming up. Things are going to happen here, gangsters. Okay. Keeping with our upbeat, up-paced, upbeat songs here. This next one is called On the Run. Okay, we are moving right on along. We're going to slow it down here a little bit. This next piece is in E Locrian. I've talked about this before. I will occasionally put my work into a Locrian mode. Different scales have different kind of musical flavors, so to speak. And a Locrian mode is a scale that's known as a diminished. It's got diminished stuff. It's kind of very, very dissonant sounding. And so when you're playing a diminished scale as kind of your primary thing, it's kind of hard to reach resolution, which makes it very interesting. I believe this one changes keys somewhere in here. I think it goes from like E Locrian to E Phrygian or E Locrian to E Aeolian or something like that. But it's fun. And so it makes for some interesting travels around the fretboard, as it were, a little fretboard adventure for young little Randy here. I don't think I'm young anymore. That happens. And if you're wondering how old I am, well, this song is called You May Be Wondering. I've worked with a lot of musicians, and I've worked with some really excellent musicians, and I've worked with some really bad musicians. And this next song, as I said earlier, I was going to talk about Susan. Well, it's time to talk about Susan. Susan is a great musician, also a very close friend, very cool person. And when I released this album, she listened to this song and she decided that she wanted to make a cover tune of it. And that was the first time that's ever happened for any of my songs. And so she approached me and said, "Hey, would you mind if I made a cover of this?" I'm like, "No, it's awesome. Please do." And so she writes music largely for choral work, a lot of choir type music, and put some orchestral elements in it. And she took this, I gave her the sheet music for this song, and she ran with it, and she made this choral piece that's just fantastic. And it was really cool when she was kind of getting close to finishing that. We were on Zoom just before I did a show, and I listened to this piece she did. You know, computerized version. She does everything in sheet music, and so it wasn't actually recorded. But just listening to that, I was like just getting like cold sweat. And then I had to come on and play, and I actually played this song that night, and it was really cool, really cool. And so Susan is awesome, and I just got nothing but good things to say about her. We've been making music together for about, probably 12 years, 13 years, somewhere around there is when we met. And then this song is also, as people know, I dedicate a song to someone on every album I do. This particular song is dedicated to my grandma Marie. This was during a time when we had, not long after we'd moved over here to Eastern Washington, and anytime I dedicate a song to someone, I always get their permission to use their name. And I just had a period of time there where I was like, I don't want to worry about having to talk to anybody else. And all my grandparents are long dead, so I was just like, you know what? This is love songs for the dead for these 4 albums. I don't have to get permission from them. I'm just going to use their names. I don't think my grandparents would have understood my music at all. Hey, Susan, if you're still listening, feel free to put your link into the chat so people can go to your website. And most of her music is sold as sheet music. So if you're still on, feel free to put that out there. But yeah, I was very close with all of my grandparents. I had a really good relationship with all of them. And even though they wouldn't understand my music, I know they'd be very pleased with what I've created. So this one's going out to Susan and Grandma Marie. This is called The Shadow's Embrace. Therese is also coming in from YouTube. Welcome, Therese. Glad to have you here. Tom said that sadly he never knew his grandparents. Tom, if it's any consolation, I also never knew your grandparents. But speaking of knowing grandparents, this is a funny story about mine. My grandfathers actually knew each other before my parents met because they used to gamble in the same illegal backroom bars. So that's kind of a fun little thing. But yes, thank you for coming in, everybody. I hope you're having a great night out there wherever you are, doing whatever you do. Sometimes really cool things happen. And right now, something really cool is going to happen because, ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived at the G sharp minor portion of the show. You are welcome. This song is called To Think Beyond Rationality. And yes, Therese did make it just in time for the G-sharp minor portion, which is always nice. It's good to be here for G-sharp minor. It's good when G-sharp minor is here for you. Hey, we got Todd coming in from Live Space, saying Friday Riffs rocks. Welcome, Todd. Thanks for coming in. Glad you're here. I'm not sure how long your thing has been up there. The way I'm set up, I use actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different chat windows. So I don't always see them all. But I've talked with Todd a little bit. He's one of the founders of Live Space and seems like a very cool guy. And as I said, Live Space is in a beta right now, so it's very limited. If you're not in the beta, you can't even get into the website to watch on it. But it seems like a very cool platform. They're building up a really good community. I'm in their Discord, which I'm never as active in any of the Discords I'm in, including my own, as I should be. But it seems like they got some very cool people there. I've only caught a couple of other streamers on it, but I think the platform could do very well. So I'll definitely let you guys know once that goes into a public beta or live or whatever comes next. When it's available, I will let you guys know and you can check it out. Until then, thought is all I am. coming in from Twitch, we've got StyleSon1 saying, buy followers, primes, and viewers on Mr. Store. You might be a bot, but this one might actually be a person. And on the off chance that you are a person, I want to tell you, I don't need to buy friends. I'm not as weak as you. But for everyone else out there, thank you for coming in. And Todd on Live Space is great seeing me, and thanks for the good vibes. Definitely good vibes to the cool people out there who are not trying to sell me new friends. Someday, StyleSon, you may actually be able to ask a person out on a date if you work on your self-confidence. Think about that. But yes, everyone else said, hey, if you're coming in late, I'm the Mad Poet. You are an audience. We are the Mad Poet Society. Thank you very much for being there, for being here. Everyone except for StyleSon1. We're playing my 60th album tonight. It's called Finite Reality. We got 2 songs left. And this next one, hey, maybe someday this will apply to us. Maybe we will all be part of a pile of skulls. Looks like Therese jumped in and put the band hammer down on Style Song 1. So Style Song 1 will have to go buy their own friends. Thank you, Therese. Much appreciated. Do not mess with the Mad Poet mods. The Mad Mods. The Mod Poets? The Mad Mods. The Mod Poets. I don't know how we should call that one. I like them both. All right. We've got one more song left tonight, everybody. Again, thank you very much for coming out. So we still got a bunch of people on Nemo. We got people watching on Live Space. We got YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, people coming in from all over the place, all over the world, all over. We have a rogue light. Time to call in the lighting crew. I'll be right back. I like the Mad Mod. Yeah, I'm kind of digging the Mad Mods. That's all right. Okay. You know, I'm kind of feeling the whole streaming thing. So instead of jumping straight to the last song, how about a little bit of slide blues guitar? Shall we? Yes. Yes, we shall. I've been meaning to do slide for a while, and since we got Cycling Virgil in, I know he's a big old fan of the slide blues. He's my most common requestor of said style. That is not a slide, that is a flashlight. Aha! Because the flashlight was where my slide usually is. I need a cable here. Gonna have to do the switcheroo on some channels since there is a clean guitar input on this. There we are, baby. There we are. Guitar pick, guitar slide, guitar seat. All right. Yeah. Glenn, I agree, also love some slide guitars. It's a good feel, isn't it? Guitar Man. people, thank you so very much for coming in. I have had an absolute blast tonight. Wherever you tune in from, Nemo, Twitch, YouTube, Nono, Vaughn, LiveSpace, DLive, Picardo, Africa, Facebook, Twitch. I don't know if I mentioned them all. Wherever you're coming in from, thank you very much. Tom, thank you very much for the tips. If I missed any new tippers or followers or chatters or anything else, my apologies. I never mean to miss you, but sometimes I do. Thank you for coming in. I am the Mad Poet. You are an audience. Go to themadpoet.net, as you can clearly see on this guitar pick, repository of all things Mad Poets. I will be back, of course, next week at 8 o'clock p.m. Pacific Time Zone on Friday, and I may do some random streams in between there and then. Time shall tell. Whatever you do, do it well, and I will see you on the other side.